David Artell is with us. Congratulations, David. You must be a very proud manager this evening.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one emotion. The lads were terrific. They deserve every plaudit, every credit, every accolade that will come their way. It was a terrific night for the football club, the whole town, the community. It's one that we've been working towards for a long time to get this football club sort of putting back on the map. I appreciate it's one night. We've got a long way to go. We've just started off the league. We're still unbeaten in the league. Still unbeaten this season. And yeah, nights like this don't come around very often. We've played an excellent team, like a really good team, with a very good manager. But we've got a group of players here who want to work for each other, want to get better every day. And that's easily said, but their behaviours want to get better every day. And they listen to what we have to say and how we coach them. And I hope they enjoy the night.
You talked pre-match about wanting your players to perform their roles and sort of take the emotion out of it if they could and play their game and play how you play in League Two. And they very much did that. I mean, you must at half-time have been absolutely delighted with the way they have performed.
Yeah, as I said to him before the game, get to 5 minutes, get to 10 minutes, get to 15, get to 30, get to half-time and ramp the pressure up. You know, we've had 2 goals disallowed and we've missed an absolute sitter to make it 3-0. The disappointing thing, and I'm not trying to be, I don't know what the word is, certainly not live on air, but we should have won in 90 minutes. That's the sort of kicker for me. It shouldn't have gone to the most ridiculous penalty shootout of my whole career. It shouldn't have taken that to get over the line, but look, it's a magnificent night for the football club and the players, and I hope that it lives long in their memory. You know, we had a long, historic, unbeaten record that the chairman quite kindly put in the programme before the game to probably wind up the opposition a bit more, and it's still intact. So, it's a great night for the football club.
Bearing in mind you had those other chances, bearing in mind that actually Phil Jones and Joby McAnuff in the studio here thought the offside goal should have stood and that you should have been 3-0 up. So bearing in mind those things, what did you say to your players going into that penalty shootout?
I asked them, what is a penalty shootout? Just one question. A technical challenge, a psychological challenge. That's it. No tactics, no more physical stuff. You're going to feel nervous. You're going to have butterflies, sweaty palms, anything like that, walking from the centre circle to the edge of the D to pick the ball up. That is absolutely normal. What you will feel in them 30 yards is absolutely normal. It's a human thing. So don't worry about that. Then it's a technical thing. Let's be honest, Onana's save from our penalty, the one penalty that we missed, was an outstanding save. Yeah. And they back themselves to be good technically. No pressure on them. There's no pressure on them at this point. There's no pressure on before the game. The only thing we could have lost tonight was a bit of pride if we'd got walloped by an unbelievably good team. Make no bones about it, they've got an unbelievably good team. And it gets to penalties, it's like, go on, don't worry about it, because we live that kind of thing every day. Make a mistake, it's not a problem, it's part of your learning. I'm not going to shout at you for trying to do the right thing, and I think the players show that in moments like penalty shootouts, but trying to play football, trying to do the right thing. You know, I'm not one of them that will rant and rave. My job is to help them get better, and thankfully I've got a group of players that want to get better and want to listen and want to learn, and that's why we're in such a sort of good place tonight, really.
When it goes past the first 5 and you're on to penalty taker 8 or 9, or even your goalkeeper at 11 with Christy Pym, what are your emotions? I mean, you seem a very, very calm individual here and very quite pragmatic, but what are you going through personally at that stage?
So, it's interesting. I met my wife before the game. She'd travelled over from our home in Cheshire and with my daughter, one of my daughters, and asked me if I got nervous. I said there's only one time in my whole life that I got nervous, and that was 2:30 on the 5th of June 20 years ago. and that's because I was stood at the altar and it was 2:30 and we should have got married at 2, and I was worried she weren't going to turn up. So it's the only time in my whole life I've got nervous, because I can't do much for a penalty shootout. I can't influence them. I've said my bit, like I said, in that between the final whistle and the first penalty, and I hope that my words put them at ease. That's my job, to try and put it all into a little bit of a sense of perspective. And like I say, we've been working hard over the last, since I've been at this football club, going on 2 years, 18 months, to get better every day. And I'd like to think whoever tuned in, whoever watched the game tonight, would see a progressive team that's working their socks off for the football club, for the town, for the whole community, but not just working hard and running around, a bit like headless chickens, trying to play football, trying to be progressive, trying to get better, because that's what it takes. And I've got to make sure my emotions remain, stable, so that the lads know that I'm not going to fly off the handle or be up or down with wins or defeats. My job is to remain nice and calm and give them the right information. And like I say, I've got a group of players that will take on information brilliantly and learn in various different ways, and it's my job to understand which one is the correct way of making them learn and get better. And they deserve all the plaudits that come their way tonight, that's for sure.
And just fine, Sheffield Wednesday away in the next round, but this tonight just goes, I'm guessing, into your sort of toolbox of what you can then recall for your players, maybe when it does get hard for a 3-week spell in November or whenever it may be.
Exactly. Listen, we're in. This is game 7 of 8 this month, and it's game 7 of 10 in 36 days. We're in the middle of a tough spell. Make no bones about it. We've had 6, 7, 8 players out tonight, or we've had to bring off the pitch, who are hugely influential for this football club and this football team. We're in a tough spell. But like you say, whether it's not won for 3 games or whatever the circumstances may be, you can use it. You can use the recall of what it takes to win and what it takes to beat a magnificent team like Manchester United.
Delighted for you, David. Congratulations. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for putting the headphones on to talk to us. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers. Thank you. David Artell, the Grimsby manager. God, he talks well, doesn't he?
Incredibly cool. Sometimes you hear managers after games and you're not quite sure if what they're saying is actually they believe it. I believed every single word. Just the calmness, and it's the hardest thing to do as a manager. As he said, once that game started or you're stood on the sideline, I only did it for 16 games as an interim, but it's incredibly frustrating because you can't impact it. But those words that he said before the penalties, as a player, you would have taken that as like, brilliant.
I don't know what was better, the post-match talk or the performance itself. I mean, the way he spoke there was terrific.
I mean, you've been doing your coaching badges. Is that his kind of philosophy? You want to hear more from?
Oh, listen, for a player in that dressing room, if you're a Grimsby Town player, to have a manager like that who looks very understanding, looks like he offers a safety net for when things do go wrong, but also is demanding at the same time. I thought he spoke terrifically, and his team thoroughly deserved to win tonight.